The role of grammar instruction for EFL and ASL learners has been a long debate among researchers and practitioners. Some argue that grammar is not necessarily to be given a special focus in language learning, as children learn their first languages without learning the rules of how the words are combined, yet they are able to communicate with others. Some others believe that grammar plays a very important role in language learning, as grammatical rules enable learners to know and apply how particular patterns should be put together. Despite this long controversy, grammar gains its prominence in English language teaching. The role of grammar instruction has been regarded as crucial to the ability to use language. Corder in 1988 emphasized the importance of grammar in acquiring the capability of producing grammatically acceptable utterances in language. Long and Richards in 1987 added that it cannot be ignored that grammar plays a central role in the four language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and vocabulary to establish communicative tasks. According to Widodo in 2006, in the context of English as a foreign language, grammar instruction has traditionally been dominated by a grammar translation method where the use of mother tongue is clearly important to elicit the meaning of target language by translating the target language into native languages. Richard and Rogers in 2001 added that in such a method, learners are provided the grammar rules and examples, are told to memorize them, and then are asked to apply the rules to other examples. As a result, grammar instruction is perceived as a boring teacher-centered class. Furthermore, most EFL learners find grammar difficult to learn. Al-Mehlavi and Nagaratman in 2011 reported that learners have generally looked upon grammar instruction as the moments of discomfort and sometimes even terror. Baron in 1982 also explained that most learners portrayed English teachers as unattractive grammar mongers whose only pleasure in life is to point out the faults of others. This condition resulted in a new concept for English learners: mute English learners. The term mute English learners was first introduced by Wolf in 2010 to describe the learners in expanding circle countries who can write and read English effectively but cannot communicate orally effectively with foreigners. Based on the problems stated previously, I would like to propose some ideas of learner-centered activities that make grammar class non-threatening and enjoyable, yet promote improvement on students' communicative skills. The first activity is called guessing the words. This activity can be best played with the topics of parts of speech. Instead of asking students to memorize new vocabulary, they can practice their speaking and writing skills while learning new words through this activity. There are two ways of doing this activity. First, students are divided into groups. Each group chooses a representative to take a category to play and write down 5 words related to the category. The other members of group will guess those words within limited time. The group who can guess the most correct answers within the least time will be the winner. The second, students are divided into groups and each group sits in a circle. Each member of a group will be given a card containing words to guess, but not allowed to see it. The other group members will be clue givers for the words. The winner is the person who can guess the most correct answers within the given time. This activity can be followed up with written exercise. Students write a short paragraph using the words and share their works with other group members. They also should give feedback on their friends' works. The second activity is called board and dice games. The purpose of this activity is to make students practice spoken English through a fun competition. Students sit in groups of 4. Each member of groups takes turn to throw the dice and moves his or her token as many steps as that appears on the dice, but can only stay there if he or she can answer the question or do the instruction written on the board. The winner is the first who can reach the finish line. This activity can be done with any topics of grammar, such as parts of speech, tenses, passive voice, and conditional sentences. For example, teachers can write some verbs on the board and students should use those verbs in particular tense or particular type of conditional sentence. Teachers can also write sentences on cards and students should change the voice of the sentences correctly in order to advance their tokens on the board. For the board template itself, it's not really difficult to find. We can easily find them on the internet. Teachers just need to change the verbs or the category to play. The last activity is called Run and Answer. This activity is done outside the classroom, so it can be very enjoyable for students. Before doing this activity, teachers should prepare the questions on papers and attach them on trees. Students are divided into groups. All members of the group will have turns to race to the trees and read the questions. And if they know the answer, they should run back to their groups to let the other members know the answer. If it is correct, and then the next player can run and do the same thing. This activity is done within limited time. When the time ends, the group with the most correct answers is the winner. These activities can be adapted to make them suitable to any EFL and ESL learners of different ages and levels of proficiency. I do hope that these activities can help learners enjoy learning grammar and change their perspectives about grammar instruction. Thank you for watching.